Donald Cerrone versus Niko Price takes place this weekend in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 11, Covington versus Woodley, and I can't wait for this matchup. Donald Cerrone, the legend himself, 4 losses in a row won't stop him. He's still moving up a weight class to welterweight again to take on Niko Price. His last fight was at welterweight against Anthony Pettis, and to be honest with you, I thought he beat Anthony Pettis, but they gave it to Anthony Pettis. It wasn't a robbery, it was just a very close fight. I understand some of those close fights happen, but still, I thought Donald Cerrone won his last fight against Anthony Pettis, but on the record, he's on 4 losses in a row, and that's a very bad place to be in if you're Donald Cerrone. And not only that, you're taking on a guy in Niko Price, who, although is a good name and known and loved by the hardcores for what he does in the octagon every single time he goes out there, it's not really a big name that you can excuse losing to. Like, if Donald Cerrone is still the Donald Cerrone that we know, he should be able to go out there and beat a guy like Niko Price. But that's the thing. A guy like Niko Price is a very, very dangerous man for Donald Cerrone at this point in his career. Coming off a good performance against Vicente Luque. Almost said win, even though it was a loss, because he was looking really good against a guy in Vicente Luque that just went out there and looked really, really good against Randy Brown. Niko Price is a savage. He's had good wins in his career. He's got knockout power. He's dangerous from every position. The only guy where he's on his back, and that isn't even a big problem for him anymore. Like, he's the only guy where he's on his back and you could be standing up next to him and he's a problem to you. Like, you've got to fear that position with Niko Price. He's dangerous. He's got good submission games as well. We saw that even against Vicente Luque. He pulled a dash choke at one point, which is what Vicente Luque caught Niko Price in their first fight. So he's evolving his game, and he looked really good against Niko Price, man. Even though that fight got stopped, I mean, it was a TKO technically. His eye swole up. He was winning that fight, in my opinion. Of course, Vicente Luque started to get a bit more momentum in that third round, but Niko Price kept a relentless pressure, a good pace, mixed it up as well. We normally see Niko Price go out there and wing a bunch of bombs with his weird physique of just the widest shoulders in the game, and he's got a massive reach as well, 76-inch reach right now. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage over Donald Cerrone. He's just an awkwardly built man. He's built like a Dorito. He's built like a Dorito. That's what Niko Price is built like. So he's very awkward. He's got a lot of power, and he catches guys from weird angles as well. I just don't like it for Donald Cerrone. Normally, I'm not good at picking Donald Cerrone fights. I just want to say that off the bat. Every single time I pick Donald Cerrone to win, he loses. Every single time I pick him to lose, he wins. It's just something that Donald Cerrone seems to do to me. So take this prediction with a pinch of salt, because who knows what's going to happen. Donald Cerrone is one of the most unpredictable fighters in the sport right now, but saying unpredictable fighters, Niko Price is just that as well. I think Niko Price is going to go out there and catch him in the first round. I really do. I don't like it for Donald Cerrone. Niko Price is a wild man in that first round. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and that is to get straight in Donald Cerrone's face, make it an awkward fight for him, and just go straight for him. Big shots, make Cerrone seize up, because he's normally nervous in the first round as well. I think Niko Price is the man enough to do it. I think he'll go out there and get Donald Cerrone out of there in the first round, but Donald Cerrone can do some things. For example, if this goes past the first round, listen, Donald Cerrone is still the welterweight that went 5 rounds with Leon Edwards and won some of those rounds with an illness at the time as well. That's Donald Cerrone. He just beat Anthony Pettis, arguably, and Anthony Pettis beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I just think the size of Niko Price, he's a real welterweight with big KO power. He's looking better and better each time he goes out there. Donald Cerrone has known about this fight for longer, so maybe that's something that could come into play in that second and third round. If you're going to pick Cerrone, I would say pick him by third round finish or late second round finish at the second half of the fight, but I'm going to be going with Niko Price catching him in the early rounds. He's just such a dangerous matchup for Cerrone, to be honest with you. And Cerrone, look, as much as he's lost a lot in a row before, you know, it's like this one was a little bit more brutal in my opinion. Like, he lost to Masvidal by TKO, but it wasn't too bad. He got finished by body shots against the cage, but he still got TKO'd, dropped in that fight, took a lot of damage. Then he went in there against Robbie Lawler, went to a close decision, but I thought Robbie Lawler won, and Robbie Lawler's, you know, Robbie Lawler right now, so that's not really looking too good in hindsight, but still, Darren Till finished him in the first round pretty savagely. That was a bad beatdown. Then you go to Yancy Medeiros. Now, here's the problem that I'm having right now. The whole thing about predicting Donald Cerrone fights is this one going to be the last one just by proxy of Cerrone's chin density levels dropping to that of Luke Rockhold's? Like, it's just, you never know with Donald Cerrone. And the thing is, yeah, all the people that have beaten... This is why I hate Donald Cerrone so much. I hate predicting Donald Cerrone's fights. I love Donald Cerrone as a fighter. He's one of my favourite fighters of all time. But I just hate predicting his fights. It's so annoying because look at the names that he's lost to. Masvidal, Lawler, Till, Leon Edwards by decision. As I said before, Tony Ferguson, he was doing good there as well. Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, Anthony Pettis. Those are really good names. Does Niko Price fit in with that group of names? Not really. Does Niko Price fit in with Al Iaquinta, Alexander Hernandez, Mike Perry, Yancy Medeiros? Cerrone's last 4 wins? Yeah, he does. He fits right in with that selection of names, but I just can't pick Cerrone, man. I can't pick a guy who's been taking this much damage, and even in the Pettis fight, he got rocked a bunch of times. Remember, Pettis eye poked him at one point, and then just rocked him afterwards. What a great friend Pettis is. What an amazing guy, but still, great guy. I never met him, but, you know, good guy. I hear a lot of good things, but still, eye poked him, rocked him as well. Cerrone's now not coming off a KO loss, which might actually be a decently good situation for him. I just feel as though Price is going to catch him. This is a real welterweight. I think Price would beat Pettis, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think Pettis has been the same since the Nate Diaz fight. He fought Nate Diaz, he looked like absolute shit. Fair enough, he broke his foot in that fight as well, but still, he looked like absolute shit in that fight. Like, it's just a fact, in my opinion. He did not look good whatsoever. Then he fought Diego Ferreira, and I was like, you know, maybe Pettis, it's time to hang up the gloves. Then he fought Cerrone, and I'm like, well, I expected Pettis to get him out of there in the first round quite brutally, but maybe Pettis is kind of trailing off as well. I just feel as though Niko Price right now, coming into his prime, 30 years of age, looking better than ever in his last few fights, beat James Vick, who again, if you're looking at 55-pound rankings, Vick was barely outside the rankings at 155, at one point ranked inside at 155 as well. He was a decent opponent there, but obviously James Vick's changed a little bit now because of the old chinny chin chin, but you know, Niko Price beat him, was doing okay against Jeff Neal, and Jeff Neal is a guy who annihilates guys in that division. Tim Means beat him. Tim Means is always dangerous, bounced back recently with a big win against Laureano Staropoli. Dangerous guy. Abdulrazak Al-Hassan, this is prime Abdulrazak Al-Hassan that Niko Price lost to. Before Abdulrazak Hassan had the whole rape case situation, and he came back like an absolute chubby toddler. To be honest with you, he looked pretty bad against Munir Lazzez, but Munir Lazzez looked really good as well, but still, he beat Randy Brown. Niko Price, like, he's got good wins here. He's got really good wins. Beat Alan Jouban, like, I like his chances. I really do. I think he's going to go out there, catch Cerrone with something wild in that first round, and I think Cerrone's going to get dropped and then finished afterwards. I think it's going to be pretty bad, but I like the fight, and the winner of this fight is going to be in a great position because we got a bunch of guys right now just in that outside of the top 10 area of the welterweight division. I can't wait to see what matchups they make next, but the winner of this one is looking at Mike Perry. I wouldn't even mind a Mike Perry versus Donald Cerrone rematch if Cerrone goes out there and wins. I don't mind. I think that here's how the fight goes though. When I look into my crystal ball, I see Donald Cerrone throwing a kick with a bit of a long setup in the first round. You know when he does that little step to a switch kick high in the first round sometimes? He does it to some people. He tried it on Jorge Masvidal, and that's when Masvidal caught him over the top. I think Price is going to catch him with that because he's got really long arms, long shoulders as well. He can really reach over the top of things, especially when you think you're at safe distance from someone. Price can catch you with awkward shots, and he caught Jouban after throwing a kick as well. I feel like Cerrone's going to throw a switch kick higher. Price is going to loop over the top of it with a right hand and just beat Cerrone with a TKO finish. And it sounds horrible to say, but I think this might be it, boys. And it's time for Bellator. Even though they probably will keep on Donald Cerrone afterwards because he's worth quite a bit of money to them. And everyone watches Donald Cerrone fight anyway. It just is kind of bad looking for a guy on a 4-fight losing streak to still be in the UFC. But we'll see what the UFC does. I also want to see what the UFC does in the matchmaking. Let's get back to that because I only mentioned Mike Perry. You've got guys like Mikel Pereira, which if Niko Price wins would be great. Niko Price versus Mike Perry is a great matchup as well. You've got a bunch of other guys. Daniel Rodriguez, Miguel Beza. Mickey Gall just fell out of his fight with Miguel Beza. On this card, Miguel Beza's looking for an opponent. That's a good matchup. There's a bunch of guys right now at welterweight. Muslim Salikov is taking on someone soon. He's going to need an opponent when he comes out of that one. We'll see. Great times at welterweight. It's one of my favourite divisions at the moment. We've got non-stop contenders. Sean Brady is in the mix, but I doubt that Niko Price, if he does win this one, is going to be looking backwards. But there's also fights in the top 15 that can be had. There's a couple of them around there. Maybe a Robbie Lawler. We'll see what Lawler's doing. I mentioned this after Lawler lost to Magny. That maybe the winner of Cerrone versus Price would be a great matchup. I think that would be amazing. Cerrone versus Lawler too. Loser goes home. regardless if he wins or loses against Price. I don't know, man. I don't know what they want to do. I hope they don't cut Cerrone, though, because, I don't know. I feel like there's certain people that we should just see die in the octagon. You know, like, just because we've invested so much, like, there's no point, what, you're going to go die at Bellator? Like, we need to see it end, you know? Like, we've been here for the whole story. What, you're going to close the fucking book at us on the last page? Let's see it, you know? Obviously, I don't wish that upon Cerrone, though. I hope he doesn't die. But still, he's taking a lot of damage. And the KOs are getting easier, I feel like. You know, like, before Donald Cerrone's KOs, like, Till really fucking beat the shit out of him, and it was a sustained beating, so I could kind of understand it. Masvidal caught him clean on the chin and rocked him at the first round with a massive shot as well. Welterweight, again, a big guy. I could kind of understand it. And then you look at guys like Rafael dos Anjos, caught him with a big shot, but Cerrone kind of quit there. But then you look at the recent TKO losses. Gaethje just caught him with a nice little fadeaway hook as Cerrone came forward. It was a perfect shot, but still, you know, it's Gaethje, who has a lot of power, but it just seems as though he's going down a bit quicker. Don't get me wrong. Conor McGregor's head kick was nice, but that shouldn't be KOing you at this point in your career. Like, it KO'd him because it was Donald Cerrone, and that's kind of to be assumed going into a fight that Cerrone's not going to have an iron chin. But that head kick doesn't KO Masvidal. Like, that head kick doesn't KO other guys in that division up and down it. Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier, you name it. Well, I don't know about Dustin Poirier, actually, but still, you know what I mean. I just feel as though Niko Price is a little bit too powerful, little bit too big, little bit too rangy with a 3-inch reach advantage at welterweight, which is a big deal because Cerrone's used to having a bit of range on guys. Think he's going to get clipped. He's going to be too close when he throws a switch kick to the head, and Price is going to loop over the top with a big right hand and catch him flush on the chin and get him out of there in the first round, and then look to take on Mike Perry, Mikel Pereira, winner of Condit versus McGee, Robbie Lawler, you name it, but not Luke O'Neal. I hope they fight each other next. That would be ideal. The welterweight division is great right now, though. And maybe the loser of this one, and here's the big deal. If the loser doesn't get cut, in the case of Cerrone, that is anyway, which we'll see what happens with that anyway. Here's the big fight. The loser of this, if they lose in spectacular enough fashion by being sent to the Shadow Realm, might just earn a reception with James Vick in the octagon. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. But maybe, depending on how hilarious the knockout loss is, they could earn a fight with James Vick, the legend himself. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Just spitballing ideas. Don't hate the video immediately. But, you know, I didn't mean to mention any of these guys' names along the likes of James Vick. I don't want their names to even be in the same... I take it back! They're not worthy of James Vick. Only Emil Meek is. That level of opponent. You know, the real... We're talking crazy, you know? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. And goodbye. Niko Price by KO in the first round. I'm sorry, Cerrone. I think it's over. My bad.